Hi everyone, my name is Rubina A Khan and welcome to the 25th edition of Rubina's Radar. Today I'm in conversation with an Italian master chef who's made the world his home by living and working in diverse cities and countries as executive chef of leading luxury hotels. But it's Edmonton in Alberta, Canada that Chef Antoni Tardi calls home now, and he's switching up his culinary game by teaching people how to cook and become master chefs themselves. He loves life, and his beautiful Jamaican wife finds inspiration in nature and is very humorous. Please welcome Chef Antonio Tardi from Canada, everyone. Good morning.
Hey, buongiorno. Buongiorno. How are you?
You're looking well.
Oh, you too. You look beautiful as usual.
Thank you. Thank you. So, Chef, should we start with your journey that you grew up in Naples and then you went all around the world learning and absorbing cooking styles and cultures? And of course, you're an award winning master chef. So I just want to know what fascinated you about cooking so much growing up in Italy that you chose this profession as a career.
So first of all, good morning. Well, we are in the morning here, right? So you are in evening in India, right? So good morning, everyone, whichever way you are. Well, my journey, I like to say when I say, oh, when your journey start, if I need to be a little bit funny, I like to say that I was born as a chef because there's only thing I can do. So recently, I do some work at home, but before I could not even change in a bulb, like I really, I always been in the food, always been a foodie. Um, I grew up close to my mom's side in Italy, and we are family of farmer, right? So my grandfather, he was a farmer, a big farmer, right? So, and I grew up in the countryside, and every time used to be a meal, it was just kind of I would say a natural ritual that the tomato is your tomato. Whichever you're gonna, we was on the table, it was come from our farmland, right? So then my grandfather died. The all this farmer business went down because all my uncle auntie they changed industry. And then this is when my father come in the picture, right? So my father used to be a barber, okay? So he wants me to be a barber. So, but I never wanted to be a barber, right? So I used to go in my barbershop, beautiful barbershop, Rubina, in the center of the city. All big people coming, lawyer and bankers and all very very nice. And, the barber is where you go and you talk and the
Yeah.
it was just very entertaining for me, right? But I never liked it. So I used to go to my father barber during the festivities, right? Christmas period, over Easter, because the shop was very busy. I used to be there just to, broom the floor and, brush the customers and, but besides to be a barber, my father always was like the chef of the family, right? So, and then this is where I said when my granddad passed away, then my father come in the picture, and this is where it was a little bit more gourmet kind of lifestyle, right? So, it's Christmas, for example, what we gotta eat. Lobster. Okay, let's go to the port. Let's go to when the lobster come out from the boat, right? And this is, go on and on for until I was 15, 16, ready to go, to go to college. And, I was always a little bit a rebel and, never know what to do, always on the road and play with my friends and so on. But my father, one day he came to me and said, "Oh, now is your time, right? So what you want to do?" I said, "Dad, I'm not sure what I should do at the moment." And he said to me, "Why don't try the hotellery school, right? The college." And then, and this is where everything began, right? He sent me to one of the best school, which was a boarding college, right? So he used to drop me on Monday, pick up me on Friday. It was a boarding school basically. Well, only 1 year I last because then they sent me home because he said we don't want someone like you. Indeed, because I was very active. When you are in this boarding school, you need to be adhere with the rules. I've always been a little bit ruthless, even now, right? So, yeah, this is where it began, right? So I did my college, I did my 5 year, right? I did postgraduate as well. I tried to go university, but didn't work out because too much study, and I want to enjoy the life. And anyway, so I dropped university, and then I went straight to working, right? So, and here we are. But definitely, my father was my inspiration,
Right.
Right. So he was the one, and then I did well, right? So I did well. Sorry, like in a way that I enter in the kitchen, and then I find my way, and then I, skill.
You are a natural.
Yeah,
You
like
cooked at the kitchen very easily.
yeah, I adapt myself because at the end of the day, in Italy, at breakfast you're talking about what we're gonna eat at lunchtime. Lunchtime you're talking about food was our daylight. With my father was really gourmet. Like everything he used to buy, he needs to be like um, traceable, where it comes from, who is the farmer, like I used to know all these small producer who make the cheese, who pick up the fish, and and then for me it was natural. Like I was at the beginning, I said, okay, do I have talent for that? And then yes, I had the talent, I had the inner talent that my father and my family helped me to bring it out. Here we are,
Right, and you've been very successful. You're being very modest. You worked across the world from, Italy to Paris to Taipei to Bangalore in India to Guangzhou, the Caribbean. My God, you've literally worked in all kinds of cultures, very different kinds of cultures, and now Canada.
Now,
So coming back to that, your last assignment in as executive chef and leader of a F&B team was at Rogers Place in Canada. So how was it? How was the experience? Reinventing the menus. Was it only about hot dogs and burgers, or there were 9 restaurants, I believe? So it's a big venue.
yeah.
So why? I mean, how? Just tell me something more about why you did that, and now you are obviously in a different parallel stream of the same business.
Yeah, yeah. No, well, thank you for asking this question. Yeah, Rogers Place is a special place, in my career because from 5-star hotels, I went to sport and entertainment, right? So I believe this was the reason why they choose me, right? So bring like a 5-star chef. I was senior executive chef in that venue. So I think this was one of the reasons why they took me. They want to eventually give a like extra touch to a sport and entertainment, food and beverage business, right?
And for the home team, Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah, the team. Well, when it comes to the team, they don't follow this. They follow their own diet. You need to adjust to them because they have a nutritionist, right? So you do the menu. Of course, they give you the guideline, right? So what kind of proteins they need? They need a starch, in the veg. It's quite standard, right? So and then they tell you, okay, if it's a pre-game, you can play a little bit with the food. During game time needs to be more blind, not tasteful, right? Not much spices and stuff. So it was good. And then you give the menu to the nutritionist, and then you sit down and they give you the calories and all these things which they need to know what they inject, right? What they ingested, right?
Yes, yeah.
So, but they're here a little bit when it comes to like the team, right? They're a little bit different. They are more open to hit, even though they're athlete, right? So sometime when you do a menu for a sport team, they're a little bit more strict. So they're a little bit more open, which was good for us, right? So and for them, well, I believe so. Yeah, no, different, right? So as I said, from a 5-star going to sport and entertainment, and as you picture, our bestseller was hot dog and popcorn, right? So this is actually the one, the big volume, right? So, but from hot dog to popcorn to prime rib, caviar, black truffle, this is what I introduced. Then for me, it was a playground. You know what I'm saying? Because
you had fun.
yeah, I'm like this. if you give me a project, then you need to stop me. Say stop now, because when I keep going, and yeah, we introduce a lot of fun stuff. Well, just give an example, like we switch these. We have the main stand, concession main stand, when you sell hot dog, your fries, your poutine, chicken nugget, and so on, right? And then we had a couple of portable stands that they are kind of pop-up kitchen, right? So this is where the creativity came out. I developed this Italian hot dog. I end up doing hot dog with bruschetta sauce and balsamic reduction and parmesan shaving. It actually was definitely, Rubina. It was a milestone for me. Like, we're talking about volume wise, it was comparable to the operation in China, okay? Because China also was quite big, 704 rooms, a big convention center. Revenue wise was almost the same, talking about lot of million of revenues a year, right? But in China is like you do that amount, that volume within a year, 365 days. So while here in arena, you do the same amount of work / revenue, but in 6-7 months, right?
I see.
So a little bit more. Of course, managing a large team, we had about 200 chefs available, right, on our roster during game. When there's a game, it's always a prep day before the game, right? So maybe 1 or 2 prep day before the game, and we average 100, 120, 130 staff on duty between a prep day and a game day. And when there's a game day, it's magic, right? Because 2 or 3 hours or 3 days of work just disappear. Such like you need to be very organized. Of course, the company I work for, they provide know-how. We just need to fine tune, eventually bring to a next level. Yeah, but it was fun. I had fun always.
But now you're having a different kind of fun.
Oh,
teaching people how to cook and become master chefs themselves. And also, you also started your company. You're the owner and founder of Parkoto and Kenuna?
Kenuna, yeah.
Yes. So, which is a company that facilitates higher education for culinary students through your firm. So, can you tell us more about that and how working for yourself after, I don't know how many years, 20, 25 years?
Yeah, yes, yeah, pretty much, yeah.
You're your own boss now. So, tell me about teaching students how to cook or anyone really.
I just want to tell you what Parkote Kenuna means, right? So Parkote.
Yes, I want to know. Yes.
All right, I'm gonna tell you, right?
Very difficult words.
No, very easy, basically. Yeah, well, I can understand. So Parkoto means, basically, if you translate in English, means park number 8. Okay, so Parkoto was the area.
Oh, like Otto is 8. I see.
Yeah, Otto is 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
So usually the company was Parkoto, right? And then we changed to Parkoto Kenuna. Kenuna is my wife part of this company. Okay, so Parkoto was like an area in Asher, because yes, I'm from Asher, which is a city 12 kilometers north of Naples. Okay. So Parkoto was the area where my grandfather he had his lands, right? His farm, the farmland that we had is called Parkoto. So that's why I went back. I like my tradition, and I like to always inject tradition in my day life. So that's why I said, okay, this is the name of my company. Kenuna now is my wife's side, is Monique's side. That is something I don't know exactly right now, but sorry, forgive me, but that is something about the grandfather, which was called Kenneth, and then close to her hometown as well. So this is what Percote. Okay, what we are doing. Okay, first of all, right now I'm working. Also, I'm I'm employed from a Sorrentino restaurant group here in Edmonton. So this is where I looking after the cooking class division, right? So this is where I do the teaching to everyone. We do, for example, couples, date nights. They coming. They do the cooking class, which according to our calendar, it can be Italian steak night, it can be pastry and cakes, and it can be a pizza master class. Also, we teach in our housewives as well, right? That they come in. Now we start working also with agency, non-profit agency. For example, like 2 weeks ago, I had a knife skill and in the kitchen for the new immigrant in Canada, right? That they are searching from the first job placement, since they are landing here in Canada. So it's fun because after all of these big hotels, 5-star arena, right now I just want to do I'm glad for what I did, but during the pandemic I think it's not like only me but for all of us, we had a lot of thinking, right? So
Yes.
and I know, and you know better than me, like our industry after pandemic has changed, right? So, and I don't see me much in that kind of change, but not because I'm not flexible, because I've been too much flexible for my entire life. That right now I'm still flexible, but I want to do what I like, right? So I want to do what I make me happy. So I want to go to work with a smile on the face. I want to go to work when there is a problem, there is a solution. I want to go to work. I don't want to see these political games around me. And you know what I'm saying? I just, I want to do what I like to do because I'm a hard worker. I go to work to do my job, and that's why I said why we don't. And also the time, right, Rubina?
Yeah.
Or travel around the world, and I miss my friend. I miss it. Two birth of my children. I never been with my wife. Like lot of things that during this pandemic. They said, this is exactly what we want to do here. We want to continue to do that. And then I said, it's better I find something a little bit more easy that bring you joy, and at the same time develop, a business that also is going to bring you joy even more, right? So this is where this is exactly when we are moving on to my company, Percotte Conuna, which right now, we are facilitating. I'm an associate with another firm in Italy, which is Menon Perspective, Sunny Menon, right? Which is Italian, Indian/Italian citizen. So yeah, we facilitate the recruitment from students all around the world, and we are partnered with institution, from Italy. Actually, our big culinary institute is Cast Culinary School in Brescia. We facilitate the recruitment and the selection for students that they want to get better. They want to bring up their game in the culinary industry, right?
So anyone in India can apply to this program?
They can reach out first of all to us. There is a screening process that we do first, and then when all the requirement, they can from India they can come to Italy, right? And from Italy they can go to Canada, which I'm here. I'm partnered with other institution. They can go from Italy to Spain, Switzerland, right? So we have partnering with major institutions around the world, high-end private culinary school. So this is a project we are working on. Most probably, it's going to be live very, very, very soon. But it's already live when it comes to go to Italy. Now we are working from Italy to come to Canada, right? So, and also when it comes to Indian student, we also we are trying to partner with government school, because if you go study in a government school in Canada, for example, let's see 2 years, after you can work for 2 years, right? And eventually after 2 years, you can work a couple of more years and apply for citizenship, right? So this is it's a big thing, right? So again, do what I like to do, share our knowledge, and I think this is is it's very exciting, right?
Yeah, it sounds very satisfying. That you feel very satisfied, I think.
Yeah, right now, yes, right now, yes. Well, I always been satisfied, but I don't. I enjoy every my single time working all around the world, and
Yeah.
even Canada. But right now, I'm just in a different phase of my life.
Yes, because you have become an Edmontonian. So I think the Rockies, the slower pace of life is agreeing with you.
Yeah, it's a family too, right? So I'm a family man, right? So I want some time to spend with my wife and with my kids.
And you need time to go cycling thousands of kilometers.
Oh, I cannot wait to come back to India for that. Right? So every December, now because of pandemic, they stop it. The tour of Nilgiris, which I did 2015, no 14, December 2014, I believe. Yes. So amazing. I cycled with my legs and my bicycle 900 kilometers. Can you imagine
I
that?
didn't know you cycle with legs. I thought you cycle with your hands. I mean, your legs must be like Hercules to cycle in India for thousands of kilometers from, you said Bangalore to Kerala?
Yeah, so we start from Bangalore, then we went to Tamil Nadu, and then we reached Kerala, right? So,
So you tried South Indian food of different states through and through.
Beautiful, beautiful. I remember it was in Kerala, but I don't remember the name of these fruits. Was like this big tree. They cut the fruits in half. It was all this liquid jelly. They put in a banana leaf, and we drink it. It was so good. So it was so good.
Coconut water.
No, it was not coconut. I know a coconut, right? It was not a coconut water. Coconut
really? I don't
water,
know this.
I used to drink it every time I used to go from my place in Bangalore to Nandi Hills, right? So it's kind of a basic route for cyclists on the weekend. You have plenty coconut water around the road, but I'm gonna send you a picture after.
Yes, you should. I want to know what this fruit is.
Yeah. Yeah, we cycled, I said, from Bangalore, 9 days. We went up to Munnar on the tea estate, and it was wonderful. It was like, yeah, I love it. So I cannot wait to do one more time.
So tell me, do you love eating the national food of Canada, which is poutine? And a close second is obviously, butter tarts.
Well, the
Are you Italian? So you like cheese, but I don't know if you like it liquefied.
Well, when it comes to eating, I'm a little bit healthy conscious, right? So I don't eat much. I like the poutine, I like the thoughts, and this is more my daughter food, right? So for sure, sometimes they once a week, or my kids as well. They are more on the healthy eating habit. Is, for example, like they don't drink any pops, they don't drink Coca-Cola, Sprite, Fanta, right? So they drink juice mostly, and water at the moment. Yeah, but more this fried food. I love. Actually, when I was in Bangalore, I put the poutine in the menu on the hype in this the Sky Lounge that we had. So yeah, I like to cook them, but I'm not really a fan of the fried.
So how does one make poutine if you want to make it at home? With what kind of cheese works best?
Well, I do my.
Let's say you want to make poutine fries.
I do differently, right? So again, the twist, right? I do always the twist. When I do the poutine with for my daughter here at home, so I use the mozzarella cheese, right? So here they put the cheese curd, right? It's basic cheese, from processed cheese, basically. You fry the poutine, and then you have the gravy. Then you put the cheese, you put the gravy, and then you put some spring onion on top. There's a variation. You can put bacon bits on top as well. All this stuff, right? So sour cream. You can put drizzle of sour cream to make a little bit more rich, right? So definitely you can do whichever you want. But at home, I put mozzarella cheese. When my daughter asks for it, and also I do a cheese gravy as well for it instead of the beef gravy, which is cream sauce with Parmesan cheese, and it's always in my house. It's always a little bit of twist of Italian.
Obviously,
Right.
expectedly. So, what were your favorite foods growing up? And are they still your favorite foods?
I basically, as I said, I'm from Mashera, which is 12 kilometers, 13 kilometers north of Naples. But remember, Naples is a port city, right? So seafood for sure, always, right? So everything seafood, everything. But I'm talking about not like when I say seafood or fish, like don't think about lobster or like sardines, herrings, and octopus. All these because seafood can be expensive, but you have second so-called right now, not like before, more affordable seafood, right? So this is what I like the more. I love octopus for sure, right? So shrimps, of course, but not much. If you put me a piece of octopus and a shrimp nearby, I say which one you want to, or even a lobster, I'm gonna go for octopus, right? Even when it comes for the beef part, I like the second cut, right? So I like, for example, the beef cheeks. I like the shanks, the oxtail, So I never go for this premium cut, tenderloin, ribeye, strip loin. They're so boring, right? So I like where you really need to put your passion when you cook them. And I remember, my grandma when used to do this Sunday, the Sunday we call ragu, no, the Sunday sauce for our meal. She used to starting on Friday night, and put all these tough piece of meat cooking for
Pasta rug.
3 days, and now all the chef they're gonna say, "Oh, this piece of is cooking 68 hours." Okay, thank you. My grandma also used to do this thing, right? So this is the innovation, right? So,
Right.
but
And
look
technique.
at tradition, right?
Hmm.
When it comes to cuisine, yeah. So
No. So, do you remember the first dish you ever cooked?
I remember, like in a professional kitchen.
No, just in general.
Well, of course, pasta, right? Of course, at home you always, as I said, when pasta, yeah, I would say pasta with clams.
I see. What, suppose someone, visited you, what would be your first, dish that you'd cook as a must try, that, this is a dish that never fails? So what would you
This
cook?
restaurant,
No, it could be restaurant, it could be a home. But what is
okay,
a dish that everybody loves that you cook?
okay. Can I tell you? Can I revert this question?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Can I tell you the dish that my mom always cook me anytime I go to Italy?
Tell me.
Is now outside my country, and this is actually is what I would like to cook too, right? So is but start from my roots. Okay, I'm outside of my country now for good. Okay, since 2006, it's few years. Okay, so in the past I used to go home maybe every year, but now got the family. Beside now pandemic is we cannot travel, but before the pandemic. That's right. So I go home maybe every couple of years, every 2-3 years, right? So and anytime I go home, there is always set menu for me, which is the same all the time. When I say, "Mom, I'm coming this day," the second question gonna say, "Okay, so the menu is the same." Said, "Yes, Mom, that's the same." So the bacala, which is the salted codfish.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fried bacala with sauteed peppers,
Mm-hmm.
okay, a nice tomato salad with mozzarella, all right, and a bottle of 2 liters of Aglianico, which is a red wine from my region, standard. So if you come as a guest, and this is also this one also, when I get my ACMC, the Italian culinary master chef certification, right? And this is what I fed the journalists with. I didn't know it was during that time that I was in Taipei, and I had run a promotion called Food from My Hometown.
Mm-hmm.
So, and of course, bacala was inside, right? So all these dishes that I told you was in that menu that I was serving during that time. Of course, a little bit more refined, a little bit more modern technique and more and so on, right? As you can imagine. But and then I got this call from a friend of mine. They said, "Okay, a journalist is coming to just to say hi and to see you, right?" Which I know this journalist, right? But I didn't know was for a visit of, was just he's in town, just want to say hi to you. So okay, so I said it's perfect, because I have this my food from hometown promotion is gonna be perfect, right, for him. And then this is after 2 months, I got a call that I got this. And then I knew that behind that certification was that journalist, which I didn't know in the first place. So to answer your question, if you come in my restaurant, my home, what food I will give you that I will feel more connected to? I'm just gonna give you a nice piece of fried bacala with some red pepper, cook it in a nice way on the side with mint, basil, raisins inside, toasted pine nuts, right? And I give you a 2 liter of wine also, as my mom does for me. Okay.
Okay. Just the thought is very like, making me very happy. So, did you ever get a compliment that you remember to the day?
Rubina, when it comes to the compliment, yes, you get compliment, right? But to answer your question, not in particular, right? So I remember in Taipei when was this promotion, people like it, but I was looking for compliment. So the compliment, it doesn't help me much. A complaint helps me to get better.
I see. Interesting.
Right? So
Yeah.
for me, a compliment is just, okay, oh, look how fit you are. Okay, good, fine. So a compliment is say, you know what? I take in a more positive, like a complaint that, if something comes to me as a complaint, something that give me a help to review what I'm doing, maybe what is my mind, and I think this dish can delight Rubina, and then I give to Rubina, and then Rubina doesn't like it for this reason. So this has helped me to fine tune, right? So because I'm not this kind of chef that is on my when it comes to cooking, okay, when it comes to cooking. My way or no way, right? So because we cater to customers, right? And I'm not trying to say that I mix the cuisine so much and I do this fusion confusion, not at all, right? But the complaint, this is what I'm looking for more than a compliment. So,
but you and I collaborated on a Rubina dosa. Remember, we
yes,
made a dosa which
yes,
like
exactly.
pizza.
You see,
We put basil leaves and we put tomato
thank you.
sauce. It was so fun.
This is, for example, if you come across and say, "Oh, why we don't change a little bit this thing?" I take the challenge. I don't say.
And you won. It was wonderful.
It was so good, right?
I've never had it after that.
You never had, but we kept that. Those in the menu, right? I don't know if it's still there. I know some of my dishes are still there, but I'm not sure about the dosa, right? So.
But it was wonderful. So tell me, you have a special kitchen talent. You can smell a dish and you can tell if it needs salt or not.
Who
How
told
did you?
I told you?
No, I know so. So how can you make out a dish needs salt without tasting it?
Well, it's about senses, right? So, chefs needs to develop. I stopped smoking. I used to be smoke a lot of when I was a youngster, until I reached to a point that I could not taste the food anymore. I could see that something was going on my palates and in the way you taste the food. And I said, eventually, I don't do nothing wrong. So eventually, this is the smoking, and then I stopped smoking. And then I did some working of my to refresh, to how to say, to make reborn all my senses, right? So and then when you train, right? So then you develop a high skill sensitivity on smelling, on hearing, on touching, And yes, I can tell you, if you tell me how you do, I don't know what's happening, but I can tell you that I I can tell you if there is salt or not and I'm up for any challenge. So you can challenge me one
So
day.
no, someday. But you see, from salt to sweet, you love gelato. So tell
Mhm.
me, if you were a flavor of gelato, what flavor would you be?
Well, I like these two flavors that again, childhood memories. Okay, so they are still there.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, unfortunately, sometime here I've challenged to get that flavor, but I can please myself for some gelateria around here. So there is two flavors. One is stracciatella. Stracciatella basically is a plain vanilla ice cream with piece of chocolate brick inside. Stracciatella means break it, right? And then one is pistachio.
Aha.
Yeah, which I like it. I like the most, right? So I like also ramen raisin. But ramen raisin, I pick up ramen raisin when I was in Caribbean in Jamaica, right? So I like to feel a little bit of the rum aftertaste with the raisin. Three is my top three: stracciatella, pistachio, ramen raisin. Again, Italy, Jamaica, always.
Wonderful. Tell me, Italian cuisine is the most popular in the world. What do you think people make around the world that is the most badly made Italian dish in the world?
Why you ask me that now?
Because I'm sure there is. It's, just there has to be.
But, a badly Italian dish made in the world, it can be, depends who's cooking, right? It can be also a pasta with tomato sauce that is not made properly.
Mm.
Know what I'm saying? But I can tell you my it's not about bad or good, but different approach to Italian cuisine. Then now after many years I realize the reason why, okay? Because there's always a reason behind everything. So when I went to Caribbean, this was my first experience outside Europe, because before I went to Caribbean, I worked in France. So it was, was at that time. So, and then I was executive sous chef of this part of the resort in charge of Italian concept, which was all day dining. It was an Italian restaurant called Il Capitano, the captain, and then a pizzeria. So, and then, okay, it was a new opening, it was a new hotel opening. This was with Sandals Resort International, big resort company in the Caribbean. So, anyways, and then, that's the menu, and then the corporate food and beverage. I was Italian, I was from Napoli, right? So he said, Antonio, this is our previous menu. I could not understand nothing on that menu. Like, was nothing for me. Chicken parmesan. What is? I said, what is this chicken parmesan? Nothing against the chicken parmesan. Don't get me wrong, right? So, and then I discovered, spaghetti with meatballs. We don't do spaghetti with meatballs in Italy, but after years, I understood, right? So, of course, coming to the Caribbean, they got North American culture, right? And there is a reason why the immigrant in the past, when they immigrate to after the big wave of immigration was after the First World War, and then the big another big wave was after the Second World War, right? This is what they brought, right? So Italians migrate to America and just change a little bit, which was the traditional Italian cuisine, but it's seen that we should also be respectful, right? Sometimes there is a reason behind, right? That time, and they create this Parmesan version of the chicken, which is totally an American dish, right? But it's an Italian American cuisine, which is a leg of the Italian cuisine, which we should respect because it was made from our ancestor, if we want to say, right? So to answer your question, yes, sometimes even when I was in France, you go an Italian restaurant and you want a nice plate of pasta and they put all this dry oregano, dry basil inside, garlic powder, that a simple dish become something that you get to eat it, to digest after all. So yeah, I hope I answer your question.
No, you didn't, but you gave me the history of the question, which is even more enlightening. So thank you. Do you like cooking on your day off?
Yes, I love it. I love it because, as I said, I always like videography, photography, food, and I learn a lot from you, right? When you you are a master on videography,
No,
right?
I'm not.
No, you
I'm
are.
learning.
Looking at my skill and look at yours when we met, I learned, right? So when I'm at home, I do most of my video I do at home, right? So, and I make sure I have a good breakfast because when you do a video, it takes long before you eat, right? So, yeah, I cook at home all the time. I make pizza dough for Giuseppe. Juliana like pasta dishes as well. My wife, she's open to eat almost everything. So yeah, I cook at home. I enjoy to cook at home for my kids and wife.
So what's your favorite kitchen appliance?
Right now, I'm planning to get a bimby, but I don't have it at home. But I won't get a bimby for. I want to do some more puree. I like my blender as well because I do a lot of hummus. As I said, I eat very healthy, right? So I always chickpeas hummus in my fridge. And then I got a KitchenAid, help me to do the pizza dough for my son.
Right.
Anytime I do for a KitchenAid mixer, right? So when I do pizza, I don't like to put my hand too much in the flour and then the flour around there, I'm a little bit
Yeah.
so I use the KitchenAid and then I put my gloves and finish out on the table. Yeah.
Okay.
But to answer your question, we just moved in a new house and I'm having fun to do some interior design, right? And I'm looking to upgrade a little bit the equipment as well. It was a good question.
Favorite spice or favorite ingredient that you use a lot?
Virgin olive oil.
Okay. What do you eat when you're anxious?
Well, I'm working on. Okay, you want an answer on that? I try to drink a tea.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't eat when you're upset and stressed?
No, I'm trying to control that.
I see. Good. Do you love pizza or pasta?
Well, I cannot answer these.
Okay.
Both.
Right. But what kind of crust do you like? Neapolitana or Roman?
Neapolitana, always. And I like, these two pizza because, again, food of the memory, right? So, like, they in the village where I live, we always have, like, this, wood brick, a brick oven with wood fire that is a communal, right? That all the people inside the little area, they bake the bread once couple of times a week and so on. So we used to do the pizza on the baking sheet, right, which is a little bit more thick. It's like a focaccia style, kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of pizza, I like it. One on the baking sheet and the Napolitan style for sure. But I eat all the pizza as long as they're made with good ingredients.
Right. So what have you eaten the most during the pandemic?
During the pandemic, I was eating very, very healthy. So I'm very standard when I'm at home. So again, healthy food. Hummus is always there. I try to eat a good amount of protein, not much pasta, not much pizza, right? So, but yeah, so healthy eating for sure.
So, tell me, what is the next big food trend in the world? What do you think will be the new? I mean, staying healthy is paramount, but what do you think as a food trend will be very exciting?
Well, I think the traditional food, the regional cuisine, definitely it will be next big trend because we are moving too, right?
Yeah.
If we go back to this is always my thought, right? So going back to the tradition, this for sure is gonna be the next big, and then also the CSR part of the food is very important, this is definitely something that is vegetarian as well, is vegan as well is taken, but when it comes to like cuisine style, I think the regionally for me is number one food trend.
I think I couldn't agree with you more. I think people want to go back to what they grew up on and they want to develop that in a more modern way. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
So, what is the bigger love affair of your life? The one with your wife or the one with food?
What my wife.
Well said. So, what is the first thing you do in the morning and the last thing at night?
The
You're
first
blushing about your wife. You're like red-cheeked about your wife.
the first thing I do when I wake up, I take a couple of apple cider vinegar with mixed with water.
Oh, wow, you are really healthy.
I'm trying. I'm trying. Right.
But you don't drink coffee or tea?
First thing is the apple cider vinegar. Then I'm gonna have my tea, which is the
Mhm.
coffee, and then I'm gonna have another glass of tea, which I made it with shaved ginger and lemon. And then I take and then my vitamins at that time, right? I take zinc, I take ginseng, I take vitamin D.
Okay. And what do you do? What is the last thing you do at night?
I pray before I go sleep.
Oh, so many people do that actually. Lots of us do that.
I do that.
Sorry, continue. You were saying?
No, I do that. Like, first put my head on my pillow, 3 words, and then do a blessing and go sleep.
Okay. Do you say grace before you eat food?
Yeah,
At mealtime?
yeah, we do that.
Okay. So when are you at your happiest?
When I was, or right now, like my entire life.
Anytime. When are you at your happiest? Like it can be a moment, it can be a part of the day, it can be in a place.
I can tell you some, most happiest time of my life. I can tell you. This is what.
No. It's not about.
Okay, tell me again.
It's what makes you happy. Like.
I'm a simple guy, Rubina. I can take my bicycle, go on the trail, and listen the birching of the birds, and make me happy. See my kids playing well together. Make me happy, right? I'm not a fancy guy. I've been in a too much fancy environment in my life that I just keep it simple, right?
Yeah. So what can you not resist in life?
Wine.
What keeps you moving forward, and what do you want your legacy to be?
Okay, what keeps me forward is like I'm a curious guy, right? So I like always to discover and
Curious Antonio. Curious Antonio.
Yes, right? Yeah. So what our legacy is that.
But Curious Antonio also is a very curious observer, very quiet observer.
Yeah, I do.
Does not participate in confrontation. All kinds of drama.
Yeah, no, I like, I'm simple. I choose always, like, I choose happiness over drama all the time, right? So, for sure. So this is also where I am right now with my frame of mind and state of mind. I hope that can continue like this, right? So,
what's your favorite place in Alberta?
I like Edmonton. I like Calgary. I was in Calgary. Alberta is a beautiful place. It's full of nature, right? So it's good. A little bit cold in winter, but.
And your favorite word is inspired by nature. You love everything. Your favorite word is inspired.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So it's true.
So you're in the right place. Okay, now tell us, what are the 5 things one must eat and drink and do in Edmonton?
Okay, so poutine for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Then there is a big culture of pierogies. There is a big
Polish pierogies.
Yeah, pierogies are there. Then there is a lot of brewery here. Okay, they do a lot of
craft beers.
Homemade beers that you definitely you want to try. So what I said, poutine, pierogi, beers, 3, 5. Oh, I'm missing 2.
I mean, like a trek or something on the Rockies, something that someone could do when they're there.
Eating or visiting?
Eating, drinking, and visiting.
Oh, Oh, for sure. When it comes to visiting, oh, it's endless, right? So you can go. There's a lot of lakes around here, right? So they're beautiful. But definitely, the Rocky Mountain. You go to Banff, you go Lake Louise. They're just beautiful. It's accessible to people. Can go and enjoy a day. Stay in a little lodge. They're nice. Actually, I'm
And they
planning
can also take a master class from you to learn Italian food.
for sure. I'm planning to go to Jasper. No, I'm not sure when because Monique started working. As soon as we have some time, I want to drive to Jasper. Nice. I'm gonna bring my bicycle as well, and eventually I'm gonna do some biking on these mountains. And yeah, I have a mountain. I have a bicycle for each single task. I have a bike to go on the road fast, a bike to climb, a bike to go on the mountains, a bike to go to shopping, right? So,
So do you not drive at all?
well, I drive. I drive as well. But when it comes to bikes,
You have a garage for bikes.
yeah, so a garage for. I have a motorbike too. I'm not trying to show it, but I love everything two wheels, right? I like I like the motorsport as well in general. So it's one of my passion too. Yeah.
That's incredible. So I wish you a very happy trip to Jasper. And thank you so much, Antonio. It was so good to see you. You look so much better than the last time we met. You look you look happier.
I was happy Bangalore, but anyways, I appreciate your comment. Thank you.
And thank you so much for this interview. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
I see you. Ciao, ciao.
Bye.